All right, what's up, all you fantasy folks and pick'em persons out there? Welcome to week 14 of the Fantasy Picks and Football Pick'em show with your Hard Dog 25. And man, I feel terrible because I did terrible last week. I was 8-8 with the win-loss, 6-10 versus the spread. I mean, how did the Giants lose a 21-3 lead to Jacksonville? What the heck? Anyways, my total 70-46 win-loss, straight up 53-63 versus the spread. The spread is just killing me. I mean, who would have seen the Giants collapsing like that? Who would have seen Ryan Fitzpatrick putting up 6 touchdown passes against Tennessee? I mean, what? Look out. What are some other crumb games here? Oh yeah, the Vikings blocking 2 punts for touchdowns. Yeah, we can definitely see that. The Bears giving up a 14-point lead early on. The Eagles crushing the Cowboys. The Buccaneers hanging with the Bengals. The Bengals offense sucks. Andy Dalton sucks. But I digress. That's why picking against the spreads is so tough, but yet so fun. But let's get into it this week. This video will be coming out on Friday. The game is going on right now. I'll try and bring up the score here, see if I'm going. But I am picking the Cowboys over the Bears. Cowboys are favored by 3.5. TWI 128-72. The Bears, no defense, no real offense. Cowboys, I think they're just going to DeMarco Murray it all night. I hope the defense gets a couple points because I got them starting in my playoff game. I have Forte. Hopefully he gets some points as well. But I got the Cowboys winning and covering probably 28. I could see a 28-24, as a garbage touchdown by Chicago. So far it's 0-0 with 2 minutes gone in the first. Boy, awesome game. All right, but I got the Cowboys in this one. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at home against the Steelers, favored by 3.5 points, 111-89 TWI. I have the Bengals winning and covering this one. I think with AJ Green back, Gio Bernard getting healthy, Jeremy Hill acting like a pro, Sanu, and that defense finally getting healthy again. And I don't foresee Dalton throwing 3 picks like he did last week. I mean, he's just dumb. He was terribly dumb in that game against the Buccaneers. But I got the Bengals covering and winning, and the Steelers, besides Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, that defense is bad. I think the Bengals are going to put up points, and the Bengals usually don't lose at home, even though they get crushed by Cleveland a couple weeks ago. But I think they're going to ride this winning streak and hopefully a 24-20 victory, barely covering the spread. Bengals this one. Next game, Washington Redskins at home against the St. Louis Rams. Rams put down a thorough beatdown. What the heck just happened here? Oh, a punt. Rams put down a thorough beatdown on the Oakland Raiders last week, 52-0. Wish I started their defense. Redskins got handled by the Colts in Indianapolis. The Redskins, their defense is bad. Their offense is good. I mean, you got Jackson, you got Garcon, you got Alfred Morris, you got Jordan Reed when he's healthy. Those are some serious weapons. The Rams, what are their weapons? I'll tell you what their weapons are. Their D-line and their defensive backs are good. D-line especially, very, very good. And then Sean Hill seems to be like a game manager. He seems to be just handed off to Trey Mason, who went for like 200 yards on 10 carries, it seems. And also, just manage the game. Got his passes, got it working, and just let the defense do the work. But I have the Rams covering and winning this game and covering the 2.5 points. Probably win by a field goal. And the Skins are just bad. They've given up hope. Next game, Tennessee Titans at home against the New York Giants. The Giants coming off a huge flop. What the hell happened last game? 21-3 to Jacksonville at halftime, and you blow it. You got Eli doing play-action passes instead of handing it off to Rashad Jennings, who owned the first half. Oh, do play-action pack, fumble, touchdown. Throw it out to Larry Donnell, fumble, touchdown. It's like, what are you doing? They managed 3 points in the second half. 3 against Jacksonville. Anyways, Titans are just bad. Mettenberger's bad. Locker's bad. Running back's bad. Sankey's bad. Kendall Wright looks like he might be injured. Delaney Walker is their only viable option. Their defense is terrible. The Giants have Beckham. The Giants have Rashad Jennings. If he does play, hopefully he doesn't because I'm going against him in my fantasy league. But I do have the Giants winning and covering this game over the Titans. It's going to be a real yawner, I think. Probably like 20-17 or 17-14. It's probably going to suck. Oh, well. Because the Giants do suck. I'm still so mad about that. So mad. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at home against the lowly Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton can't do a thing. You can blame about his offensive line. You can blame it on he has no receivers. You can blame it on he has no running back. Jonathan Stewart came back. Kelvin Benjamin was healthy. Greg Olsen healthy. They're coming off a bye, and they got crushed by Minnesota. In Minnesota, they got absolutely crushed. Their special teams is terrible. Their defense is terrible. Cam Newton's just not good. This year, he is not good. He's not hitting his passes. He's not making the right decisions. I don't know if he's getting slow from all the ankle injuries and the rib injuries and all these injuries he's having by running out of the pocket. It's just, you put your body under that much beating, it will start breaking down. You're not going to be 21 forever. But I have I have the Saints winning and covering big. Drew Brees has got it going, throwing huge numbers up the last couple weeks. That offense, ever since Brandon Cooks went down, it's like they went back to the old offense. Ingram running the ball, and it seems like that offense is healthy. The defense, non-existent, but all they have to do is outscore their opponents, and they'll easily do that in this game because the Panthers suck. Next game, Vikings of Minnesota against the Jets of, well, probably Atlantis. They're going to need... This team is just weird. They win 1 week, they come back and just get blown out at Buffalo. Then against a tough Miami team, they're winning the entire game. Geno Smith throws 8 passes in a game. 8. I mean, talking about taking him out of the context, it's like just hand the ball off 100 times. We'll try and burn the clock out, maybe score a couple touchdowns, and it almost worked. It's not going to work this time. Not in Minnesota. If it was in the Meadowlands, I'd say maybe it was a little bit different story. But I think the Vikings, that defense is showing up. The defense is good. Bridgewater, if he does not turn the ball over, hands it off to McKinnon, and gets the ball outside to his playmakers like Rudolph and Jennings and new guy Johnson, I can see him putting up some good points in this game, winning and covering, and that's what I got him, winning and covering. So Minnesota Vikings for me. Next game, Miami Dolphins at home against Baltimore Ravens. This is the toughest game of the week, I think. Dolphins barely put up any points against the Jets with a strong offense. Ravens coming off a heartbreaking loss against San Diego. I mean, I left the house to go over to my buddy's house to watch a Packer game at 3:30, and the Ravens had just scored. It was 34-28. I'm like, oh yeah, this game's over. Well, by the time I got two minutes later, when I got over to my buddy's house, I saw they lost. What the heck happened? I saw Rivers in the highlights just march down the field against the defense. No pressure on him. Dinking and dunking, getting out of bounds in like a minute and 20 seconds and put the final nail in the coffin with a touchdown to Royal. Rivers is good. He's an enigma. He seems to not be elite because he's good, bad, good. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. And it looks like he's coming back to being good. And I am starting Rivers in both my fantasy leagues probably the next couple weeks. Doesn't matter his opponent, because even if they're playing from behind, he's got to throw the ball. And he's got receivers. He's got Gates. He's got Royal. He's got Kendall Wright. He's got Malcolm Floyd. He's got Matthews out of the backfield. There's offensive weapons for him there. And I think this week, going back to the Ravens game, they're going to come back strong. Suggs are going to put a heavy dose of Forsett, heavy dose of the Smiths, Torrey, and Steve, and Owen Daniels. They're going to control the game, and they're going to keep the ball out of the Dolphins' hands. Dolphins may win this game, but I'm thinking the Ravens are going to cover. So I got the Ravens to cover, Dolphins winning. It will be a close game, maybe 24-23. something like that, 28-27. It'll be a good game. Next game, Cleveland Browns at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck throwing 40-plus times a game. If you have any good receivers for the Colts, start them because they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Because I think the Browns have pretty good D-backs. I'm starting Coby Fleener over Witten because I hate Witten. I hate drafting Witten. I've had him for like 3 straight years. I get stuck with him every time. And I also drafted Coby Fleener, dropped him, brought him back, benched him last week when he got 25 points. This week, he's staying in. He better give me at least 6 points. This is my playoff game. I need him. Anyways, Cleveland Browns, 3.5-point underdogs. TWI, 124-76 favor of the Colts. Colts are just going to air it out. I mean, they have no running backs. Trent Richardson is just god-awful. The Browns, Terrence West is a fumble-happy fool. Even with Josh Gordon out there, I don't think they're going to be able to stay with the Colts. I think the Colts are going to put up a lot of points. They're not traveling too far to Cleveland. Same kind of environment. It's outdoors, but it doesn't look to be too bad this weekend. I think Andrew Luck, he's going to tear it up again. So I got the Colts winning and covering this game. All right, next game. This is a tough one. Detroit Lions at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have been trending up against the spread the last 5 weeks, especially on the road. The Lions are favored 111-89, but 9.5 points is it's a lot. I saw they manhandled the Bears over Thanksgiving, but honestly, if you think about it, I think the Buccaneers could manhandle the Bears themselves right now. I mean, I know they lost a couple weeks ago because they didn't even have a second half. They were up like 10-0 at the half, and the Bears scored 21 straight points. They scored 21 points in like 5 minutes. It was due to turnovers. If the Buccaneers utilize Doug Martin a little bit more, utilize Mike Evans a little bit more, and not rely on McCown to just air it out and manage the game, I think they're going to cover the spread. Detroit's probably going to win this game. Detroit has a cupcake schedule going down. But we all know that Detroit, over the past 3-4 years, loses one of these types of games coming down the stretch. And I think the Buccaneers will cover this game. The Lions will win, though. So the Lions won't lose this week. It'd be nice if they did. Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at home against the Houston Texans. Texans favored 127-73 in the TWI, and they're also favored by 4.5 on the road. Let's just break it down to bare bones here. Blake Bortles, not that good. He had a comeback drive against the Giants, but it is the Giants, and the Giants are terrible. Ryan Fitzpatrick, resurrection. Might as well call him Ryan Lazarus, because he just came out of the ashes after Mallett tore his pec muscle. Throws 6 touchdown passes. Got J.J. Watt, doing fly patterns out of the backfield. I mean, this team, it's fun to watch, especially with Arian Foster in the ball game. This won't even be a contest. Arian Foster is the biggest game changer for his team, I think, in the league. When he's not in, they just suck. When he's in, he gets like 20 points a week. I mean, he's just so good. He's so good at catching the ball, so good at running, breaking tackles, and it just seems like he utilizes his blockers well. The problem is he's always hurt. But he was healthy last week. He'll be healthy again this week, and they're going to win and cover. Bank on it. Next game, Denver Broncos at home against the Buffalo Bills. Bills coming off a couple wins. Taking down Cleveland pretty handily last week in Buffalo, but let's be honest, they got to go to Denver. They got to play Peyton Manning. It doesn't matter your defense. Look at what the Cardinals defense happened to them against Manning. Manning put up 41 points against them like it ain't no thing. And the Broncos are getting healthy. The defense is getting healthy again. Sanders, Demaryius Thomas is catching so many touchdowns. Julius Thomas is back. They got C.J. Anderson who can catch the ball in the backfield. The Broncos are going to win. The Broncos are going to cover. The Bills don't stand a chance outside of their home stadium, whatever that's called. I can't remember the name right now. Anyways, next game, Arizona Cardinals at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs favored 115-85 TWI. Cardinals favored by 1 point. I got the Chiefs in this game. The Cardinals, Drew Stanton is just, I don't know what he's doing. I know Bruce Arians said, oh yeah, Drew Drew Stanton, yeah, we're just going to utilize him after Palmer. We're going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to make it to the Super Bowl. We can win a Super Bowl with Drew Stanton. Not the way he's playing last 2 weeks. And now Ellington's going to be out. His hip pointers, pretty bad, I guess, unfortunately. Because I have him in 3 leagues. I've been utilizing him all year. He just doesn't score that many touchdowns, but he gets a lot of carries. He gets a lot of work. And there's that potential there. To have big games, and hopefully we'll have a big game when he comes back, but it looks like the severe hip pointer is gonna hinder him this week, unfortunately. So that's why I got the Chiefs. I got Jamal Charles, who practiced in full today. Game manager Alex Smith, throwing to Kelsey. Don't throw it to Donnie Avery, that fumble happy fool. Throw it to Dwayne Bowe if you can. So I just gotta go with the Chiefs. Gotta go with my gut. Next game, this is a big game. Big game for the Packers. Either way, it will help the Packers in a way, but it will help more if the Eagles win to beat the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have the tiebreaker. And you know me, I'm a diehard Pack fan, but if the Packers win out, they're gonna be a number 1 seed, because Arizona's gonna lose probably 2 of its last 4 games here, minimum, the way they've been playing. And they lost to Atlanta. They got crushed by Atlanta. It wasn't even a competitive game. Anyways, let's get back to the task at hand. Eagles favored by 1. Seahawks favored to TWY 119-81. I got the Seahawks for sure winning this game. The way they've been playing the last couple weeks, their defense has been a lot more stout. Their offense has been good. They got Lynch working well. And I think the Eagles with Mark Sanchez, he's going to turn it over. Mark Sanchez has been prone to turn it over. He looked good last week against Dallas, but this is a different defense coming in. If Dallas played Seattle right now, like Dallas beat Seattle in like week 4 or whatever it was, week 3, Seattle would win that game. I don't care how strong DeMarco Murray runs the ball. That defense is back. So I got the Seahawks winning and covering this game, unfortunately for the Packers. But Packers win out, it doesn't matter. Next game, Oakland Raiders at home against Colin Kaepernick and the I Can't Score a Touchdown 49ers. I mean, how many weeks in a row do we have to watch Colin Kaepernick just be terrible? That offense be terrible. The only one who cares on that offense, in my opinion, is Anquan Boldin. He's the only one giving 110%. You got Crabtree, John over there at People. You got Vernon Davis, who's getting old and injured. He had that back injury like 3 weeks ago, and he hasn't been the same since. He's caught like 6 balls in like 5 weeks. He's not doing anything. It is pretty sad. It is actually really sad to watch, because I had him in a lot of my fantasy leagues. And Oakland just getting crushed 52-0. That's just demoralizing. I mean, especially after winning your first game against KC, prime time. You think you're feeling the highs. Well, man, now you're feeling the lows. Just the absolute lows. I mean, I can't believe it. But I got the 49ers covering the 7.5 points. I think Kaepernick is going to play well. And the Niners do not cover the spread at home. It's weird. I don't know if that new sod there is just not taking root. It seems like they don't play well at home. Maybe they're playing in Levi's. You know, it's Levi's Stadium. It's tough to run in Levi's. We all know that. But that's pretty funny. But I got the 49ers winning, covering the 7.5 point spread. Sunday night game, big game. Chargers at home against the New England Patriots. Patriots favored 123-77 TWI and favored by 3.5 points in this one. I got the Patriots winning and covering. Phillip Rivers, I'm hoping he has a big game. I'm hoping he throws, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. But Tom Brady at home with a healthy team and coming off that loss against my Packers, where you could see him, he was just dropping major F-bombs. On the sidelines after Packers got that first down. It was just awesome to see, and that's just great to see as a fan in general, because you realize how competitive he is, and it's crazy. And he's going to be very competitive this game, because he doesn't want to lose again. He doesn't want to have that chance to lose the number 1 seed and get home field advantage through Foxborough to get to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to pick them to win and cover. Now, my Green Bay Packers. Yes, Monday Night Football. Packers, Falcons, Lambeau Field. Packers favored 121-79 and favored by 11.5 points against Atlanta. 11.5 points is a ton. Even with Atlanta playing, moderately well with Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and you can say Steven Jackson's playing well, even though that's a farce. He hasn't played well in 5 years. I think the Packers are going to crush the Falcons. The Packers are just a force right now. They had 4 field goals last week. They had 4 trips to the red zone. They got 4 field goals. Imagine if they throw us into touchdowns. They would have crushed New England, 42-21. And that drop, the Packers are just rolling. And I think they're going to keep rolling. Prime time, Atlanta, doesn't matter. It's going to be cold. Matty Ice will be put on ice in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Fields. I got Packers winning and covering. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the picks. Leave your questions for fantasy in the comments below, and also leave your picks in the comments below. I saw Fitz Canada did really well last week. That boy Fitz. Maybe I should use your picks in my pick'em this week. But anyways, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's only 4 weeks left, and then we're done. We'll see you next time.